If you are looking to train hybrid or currently training hybrid, these are 5 mistakes I have personally made that you should avoid to streamline your hybrid training program and start seeing amazing performance and body composition changes training in this hybrid style. What's up, guys? Welcome to the video. Today I'm going to take you through the 5 mistakes that I've personally made training like a hybrid athlete, and mistakes that I know a lot of other people have made. So these are things that you should avoid so that you can effectively train in this hybrid style where you blend strength and conditioning. Now, before we hop into the list, I do want to announce that our FitGrind Pink Starburst Electrolytes are officially live. So this is something we've been working on for like 5 months. We're super excited to add this to our supplement line. So if you are interested in checking out our Pink Starburst FitGrind Electrolytes, I'll leave the link in the comments in the description below. You can even use that Jordan 10 code at checkout for 10% off your entire order. So just want to say thank you for the support. We're excited to keep launching new products and just expanding our supplement line and just keep documenting on YouTube the growth of our supplement line, our gym, and just the brand of FitGrind. So with that said, let's hop into my first tip for something that you should avoid when you're training like a hybrid athlete. So hybrid training is something that has become very popular on Instagram and social media, on YouTube, and is a great way to train. And I personally love training in this style. But one of the biggest issues that I see people do, and that I've even made myself, the first mistake that you should avoid is increasing your volume too fast. And what I mean by this is if you're currently running maybe 1 time a week and then all of a sudden you add 3, 4, 5 days of running, you're increasing your volume too fast, and it's going to cause injuries, it's going to cause overuse, and it's going to not allow you to train in this style for longevity and to continue to make progress. Because if you get injured, you're not going to be able to come in and make progress and stick with the program long enough to see the progression that you want to see from week to week and month to month. And I don't just mean this with running. I don't just mean that you shouldn't increase your running volume. I also mean with strength training too. Say maybe that you're more of an endurance athlete and you love to run, but you're adding more strength training in. And say maybe it's something you've only done like once or twice a week, but now you're lifting 5 days a week. That's a lot of added volume. So good rule of thumb that I would typically stick with as far as the increase in volume from week to week is I would never add more than 10% extra volume as far as your total mileage, as far as your total amount of workouts, as far as your total amount of sets. So say, for example, if you're running 10 miles in a week right now, you're not going to go run 15 miles the next week. You're going to add a mile each week and just slowly start to build it up. This is going to allow your body to acclimate to each increase in volume, and it's going to help you make the adaptations that you want without having the overuse injuries or the nagging injuries that start to happen that are going to keep you from making progress. The second thing that you should avoid, and this is something too that I've also made the mistake of, is underfueling your training. If you're combining strength and conditioning and training in this hybrid style, you're more than likely burning through calories on a daily basis. Your food is what's going to get you through your workouts. It's going to allow you to recover from your workouts, and it's going to allow you to come in and be intense. And that intensity with your workouts is what's going to lead to the progress that you want to see. So if you're constantly running on E, do you think that you can just get through it with will and with discipline? More than likely, no. Because just like your car, it doesn't run when you don't have gas in the tank, and your body is the same way. So make sure that you are fueling your body properly. Now, if you're looking for specific information, I actually have a form on my website where you can fill out some information, and I'll do a personal free macro calculation to give you the carbs, fat, protein that you need to structure your diet around and give you a good place to start. So if you're looking for more structure around your specific macros, go check that out. I'll also leave the link to that down in the description below after you're done watching this video. As far as a couple tips I have around your nutrition is bare minimum, we want to be getting 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, and then evenly structuring this throughout the day. And you also want to have more carbohydrates in your diet because your carbs are going to be your body's best source of energy. So we're going to eat those carbs, we're going to break them down, you're going to be able to use them, or you're going to be able to store them in the form of glycogen, which is going to be a really good fuel source on longer runs or really intense strength training sessions. So you at least want 40 to 50% of your daily calories to come from carbohydrates. And then you still want some fat in your diet too. You want healthy sources of fat, avocados, oils, nut butters, things like this that are going to be good, healthy sources of fat. My third tip is I think a lot of times when we talk about hybrid training, we're talking about running and lifting. And I think that people get so stoked on the conditioning piece and they're doing lots of conditioning, and typically it's going to be a lot of running from week to week, but you still need to strength train and you still need to overload. And my third tip is to make sure that you overload, that you're lifting heavy weights, and that you're trying to get stronger and you're trying to get better from week to week. Because building muscle or even maintaining muscle mass, it doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from placing the stimulus on your body in the gym to let your body know that you need to maintain strength, you need to build strength, you need to build new muscle mass. So if we're coming in and we're doing the same weights from week to week, we're never trying more challenging variations of exercises, we're never adding sets, we're never adding reps, we're never adding weights, your body's not going to build muscle. And one issue that I've made in the past, and this typically happens when I'm in a prep for like a half marathon, is that my strength training sessions start to suffer. And that's okay because, training for specificity, if your goal is to run like a half marathon or a marathon, that's your sole focus. And you still should strength train, but that's the main goal. And yes, your strength training might take a hit. But if you're just structuring most of your training around an even split of conditioning and strength, you should always have overload in your program. You should always be trying to get better some way, shape, or form. Whether that's I did 100 pounds for exercise A this week for 10 reps, I'm going to try and get 12 reps next week, or I'm going to try 105 pounds and get 10 reps again. And just being really competitive with yourself, because that's what's going to lead to the body composition and the strength gains that you're looking to see. My fourth tip is all about hydration. And that's really why we came out with our Fit Grind Electrolyte, is because more than likely, if you're training in this style, you are not getting enough water, you're not getting enough electrolytes to replenish the electrolytes that we're losing through our sweat, through our workouts, and through our intense training. Every time that we have a muscle contraction, it takes sodium and other electrolytes to produce that contraction. Every time we're sweating, we're getting rid of electrolytes through our sweat. So we need to replenish that, and you're gonna need more than the average person. So like I said, that's exactly why we came out with our pink Starburst Fit Grind Electrolytes. Has no BS, just sodium, potassium, and magnesium, 3 electrolytes that you're gonna lose through your sweat that are crucial to replenish, especially during or after workouts. Now, typically what I tell people is you want to have at least half your body weight in ounces, and that's really bare minimum as far as water throughout the day. And then what I'll typically do is I'll have 1 to 2 servings of our Fit Grind Electrolyte. If I'm doing a strength training session, I'll typically mix it up during the workout, and if I don't do that, I'll always have a scoop after the workouts. And if I'm going for a run, I'll always have 1 to 2 scoops before the workouts to make sure that I can keep my performance up during the run. And then at the end of the run, I'm typically somebody that sweats a lot. I'll also have another serving. This is just a great way to, like I said, that you can replenish the electrolytes that you're losing so that you can recover, so that you can come and perform and you can make each workout count. So my main tip, and tip number 4, is that water is not enough. You need to make sure that you're, yes, hydrating with water, but you're also supplementing with electrolytes, because training like a hybrid athlete, you are going to be deficient if you are not using an electrolyte supplement. And my 5th and final tip is really falling into the category of thinking that you have to lift and run, or thinking that hybrid training is only lifting and it's only running. And hybrid training is basically just saying that you are blending 2 different things together. And typically it's going to be strength and conditioning. And yes, a lot of the social media content is on lifting and running on YouTube, on Instagram, but that doesn't mean that you have to lift and run. If you hate running, I'm not going to go and tell you that you have to run 3 or 4 times every single week. You can set your workouts up a lot of different ways, and you have to find something that you generally enjoy. I'm not saying that you're going to love every single workout, that you're going to enjoy every single session, but if you absolutely hate running, you either need to find a style of running that you like or find a different conditioning modality. If you don't like to run, you can bike, you can swim, you can row, you can do all sorts of different variations of cardio. But the main thing is that you're just improving your cardiovascular system, and you're also strength training, and you're blending both of those into a program to optimize, yes, your body composition, but also optimize your performance and your health and your longevity. So at the end of the day, yes, most of hybrid training is about lifting and running. But if you absolutely hate running, find a different cardio modality to do, especially not being in a half marathon prep right now or any sort of running race prep right now. I'm open to the idea of switching up the cardio workouts a little bit. Those are my 5 tips to avoid as a hybrid athlete. I'm still running a couple times every single week. I'm still blending strength and conditioning in my program, but this is just a good way that you can mix it up and just have a little variety in your program. So if you guys found this video helpful, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you made it this point in the video and you aren't subscribed, consider subscribing. I'm gonna leave a couple other videos to go watch on the screen here next. Make sure to check those out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.